that little flow chart that we had last time. It started with parallelograms, and then it split. You had rectangle and rhombus, and then squares was at the bottom. So that's how the flow chart went. So which quadrilaterals have opposite angles that are congruent, meaning the angles across from each other are going to be the same? Well, that's all of them. They're all going to have opposite angles that are congruent. That's just a thing that they all have. So that's true for all of them. And then 2 is which quadrilaterals have diagonals that bisect, which means cut in half, the opposite angles. It is the rhombus and the square. The reason those ones bisect your opposite angles is because all their sides are the same. So for a square and a rhombus, all the sides are congruent. I know you know what a square is, right? A rhombus is like you took a square and it's just like pinched a little bit. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you just took a square and it's on it, like slanted a little bit. Okay. So we'll do a few of these, maybe take a break, and then we'll do a few more. So ABCD is a parallelogram. Let's fill in our sides first. So AD is 14. Where else can I then put a 14? Yeah, perfect. And good job labeling it. 2 letters. All right. And then the other side we have is EC, which is 11. That means AE is also 11, and then the whole way across would be 22. You would just add them together. So let's do the sides. I like to do the sides first and then erase it and then start over and do the angles, right? So what did we say BC was? We can just look at the picture, 14. If you fill it all in, then when you go to answer the questions, it's nice and easy, all right? And then AC is the whole way across. So this is 11, this is 11, the whole way is 22, right? That's it for the sides. The rest of these are angles. So I'm going to erase this, start all over, and fill in my angles. So let's see. A, B, C. So you connect them. And I don't have a better explanation than look. So just watch me point to it. If we go from A to B to C, that's this whole thing is 64. I'm going to have to come back to that because it doesn't split exactly in half. So I don't know how much each one is worth. So we're going to have to come back to that. All right, DAC. So from D to A to C, that's going to be this one. That is 71. And so I know this one is also going to be 71. You get the ones that alternate from each other. And they look like they're the same size too. So it's the ones that alternate. All right, and then do they tell us anything else? BDC. So BDC is this one. Is 25. So again, the ones that alternate are the same. So if that's 25, this one is also 25. And I'm going to go back to that one that we kind of skipped. If this entire angle is 64, come with me on this because just use your common sense. If the whole thing is 64 and this piece is 25, how can I get this blank one that's missing? Now divide, but I do want to make it smaller, so subtract. If I do 64 minus 25, I'm going to get the other piece of it. So what is that, 29 or 39? I just kind of counted on my fingers. And if that's 39, this one is also 39. Now, I only have 2 other blanks that I need to get. Does anyone remember from last time? I will be impressed, but I'm just throwing it out there. What all the angles should add up to, because it's not 180 anymore. It's more than 180. Or I heard somebody say it. 360. Very good. So what I'm going to do is go to my calculator, and I'm going to add up all the angles we found so far. So I know this is a little bit annoying, but I'm going to type it all in. I got 25 plus 39 plus, what is it, 71. And then I got all those again because they're repeated. So I added all that up. It's 270. I'm going to do 360 minus that to see what I have left. So how many degrees have we got left? What is that? Oh, 90, interestingly. I have to split that into 2. I have to take that and break it in half. Think of money. Pretend you have $90 and you're going to split it with a friend for some reason. How much do you each get? 45. So each of those blanks that are left that we didn't fill in yet, those are both 45. Thanks for hanging in there with me through that. That was good. So these are both 45. And then what we're going to do is just go fill in our list. Once you have the whole picture done, it's easy to answer all the questions. So let's see. DAB. So from D to A to B is this whole thing. I'm going to have to add 71 plus 45. So what is that, 116? Did I add that right in my head? Yeah. Just added those together. All right, A, B, D. So from A to B to D is this one. So how much? 25. Good job. All right, A, C, D. So just connect them from A to C to D. The one next to that. So 45. And then last one, A, D, B. So just connect from A to D to B would be this one, which is 39. Nice. Let me just answer the door and then we'll do the next one. I said them out loud, but my picture wasn't in there. What's up? Oh, for DAB, now that I'm done with the problem, I can highlight because I won't need to erase. DAB is this one. So I added the 71 and the 45 because it was the whole thing. It wasn't just part of it. I wanted that whole angle. So from D to A to B is the whole thing. Just in that corner, yes. So I added 71 plus 45 to get this 116 is how I got that. I wish I could highlight and then erase the highlighter so I could highlight every angle. But if I do that, the whole picture is going to be highlighted and it's not going to be super helpful. I know they make erasable highlighter, but it doesn't work super well. Yeah. All right, so number 4. This is a rectangle. That means each corner is how much? How many degrees in each corner for a rectangle? Those are 90. Okay, so when we get to the angles, those are going to be 90. So let's do sides first. ST is 12. That means this is also 12, this is also 12, and this is also 12. All those on the inside are all 12. That's actually the only number they gave us for the sides. So let's see what they are asking for. SQ. So from here to here, what would you need to do? Yeah, so 12 plus 12 would be 24, whole way across. And then PR actually is the exact same thing. From P to R, 24. All right, that's all they asked us about the sides. So I'm going to erase that. Now we're going to do the angles. So the only one they give me is PRS. So here I'll highlight it or not highlight, but I'll kind of like bold it. If you connect from P to R to S, do you see how it's this one? Right in there, like how I bolded it. Is that helping at all? All right, so that one is 23, which means this one is also 23, and this one is also 23, and this one is also 23. What's nice is you get to keep on reusing your answers. And you guys already told me how much is the corner worth? 90. So if you do 90 minus 23, that's going to give you all the other ones. So what would that be? 67? So all the rest of these are 67. And then we're going to take that and go answer all the questions, right? So I will point to the angles. QPR, so here's Q, and then over to P, and then down to R. So QPR is this one, so how much? So 23 for that one. All right, the next one is PSR. So I'm just going to point to it. From P to S to R. So from P to S to R is the entire corner. So that's how much? Yeah, that's 90. And if you add 67 plus 23, that would be 90. All right, SQR. So where's S? S over to Q down to R would be this one. So 67. And then PTQ. So here's P. Okay, that goes to the middle to T and then up to Q. So what I'm going to highlight, we're going to look at just this triangle. How many degrees in a triangle? We're reviewing that. Is 180. 180. So in that triangle I highlighted, I have two angles. What are they? They're both how much? In the triangle I highlighted, they're both what? 23. So what I'm going to type in is 23 plus 23 I'm going to subtract that from 180, and then that's what I have left, 134. So I know that this one is 34. That means all the sides are the same. All the sides are congruent. It's like a square that just got tilted a little bit, all right? So when it says MK is 30, I want to split that in half. So from here to here is 30. That means each part of this is 15. If you take 30 and split it in half, you're going to get 15. All right, what else do they give us? NL is 13. So from N to L is 13. That means this is also going to be 13. Now, they didn't give us this side, all right? But we can find it. I'm going to pull out just this triangle. I'm going to draw it off to the side. You can or not. I'm just going to pull out this triangle right here. I know this side's 15 and this side's 13. I'm missing that one. We can set up a problem, put it in the calculator, and get our answer. It's going to be 13 squared plus what? Could you finish? I got you started on it. 13 squared plus 15 squared, good, equals x squared. And then you throw it in the calculator. We're going to round to a whole number because this is, complicated enough. I don't want to do decimals. Everybody is focusing so good today. This is really awesome. All right, so what was it? 13 squared plus 15 squared equals x squared. I'm going to pinch this together to zoom out. And let's see, it is 19.8. But if I want to do a whole number, that would be what? And we need to put the other things away in the front. 19.8, I'm going to round that to 20. And again, since it's a rhombus, all the sides are the same. So if this one is 20, all the others are all 20. So let's go ahead and list out our sides. NK. So from N to K is how much? 15. You just find it on the picture, fill it in. JL is the whole way across. So you would have to add 13 plus 13, which is 26. Cool. I didn't want to talk over you. All right. And then the last side, KL, is 20. Cool. So I'm going to erase the sides, and then we're going to go do the angles. And there's going to be a lot of repetition with this too, which is nice. You get to use the same answers over and over. All right, MKL. So let me find that. M to K to L is 41. So since that's 41, this one is also 41. And then the ones across from it are also 41. Now, we did this last time, and you all did really well with it. Instead of me typing 41 plus 41 plus 41 plus 41 in the calculator, how many 41s do I have? Like, what's a faster way I could type that instead of adding them all? Oh, it's not a power. That'll make it a little bit too big, but you're the only one that answered. How many 41s have I got, guys? 4. So I'm going to do 41 times 4. Good job. Cool. All right, so that's 164. Now, what should all the angles add up to? Close. 360. So I'm going to do 360 minus that. Still with me? We times it by 4 because there were 4 of them. I subtracted it from 360. I have 196 left, and I want to split that 4 ways. So I'm going to type 196, and then what? I want to split it 4 ways. Divided by 4. So all the ones that are left are 49. So all the other blanks that you see there are all 49. So you get to repeat them. So 49, 49, 49, 49. The ones in the middle are how much? Just automatically. We don't have to try and find those. The ones in the middle for a rhombus, I even drew the little square for you. How many degrees are the ones in the middle? 90. All right, so let's go make our list. J, K, M. All right, so connect them. J to K to M is this one, so 41. All right, JML. So where's J? J and then to M and then to L. All right, that's this whole thing, JML. So I would have to add 41 plus 41, which would be 82. So it's the entire corner. I just added those two together. All right, MLK. So here's M to L to K. That's this entire corner. So which two am I going to add together? I want the whole corner. So I'm going to add which two numbers? Yep. 49 plus 49, which is going to be 98. And then what have we got? M and L. So M, where is N? N is in the middle, and then to L. So what did we say all the ones in the middle were worth? Yeah, 90 automatically. And then last one, K, J, L. All right, so here's K to J to L. So that's just this half of it. K, J, L is just going to be 49. All right, so let's finish this last one on this side, and then I'll give you a little brain break. This one will be easier because it's a square. Remember, the further down the flow chart you get, the easier the questions are because you get to just repeat stuff. All right, so it says WZ is 27. Since it's a square, what else is 27? Yeah, like all of the other sides. For a square, they're all the same. All right, so going to fill this in. ZY is 27. Now, WY we're going to have to find. Okay, WY is this one. So what I'm going to do is pull out this triangle that I highlighted. This is 27, this is 27, this is the thing I need to find, and we have to set up a problem to put in the calculator. All right, I'll get you started. It'll be 27 squared plus, what will come next? Yep, 27 squared equals x squared. And we're going to round to a whole number. So 27 squared plus 20, that's going to be a big number. 27 squared is 27 times 27. So, let's see what we get. 27 squared plus 27 squared equals x squared. I'm going to have to zoom out. Where's my cursor? I feel like I'm hearing someone's music. All right, so let me click here. We'll round to a whole number. 38.1 for a whole number will just be 38. So for WY, that's 38. All right, and then RX. So we have to take that 38 that's the whole way across and divide it by 2 because we want just half of that. So 38 divided by 2 is 19. I'm just sort of being your calculator. I just took 38, divided it in half. The whole way across we found was 38. Just half of it's going to be 19. All right, I'm going to erase that. We're going to do the angles. And you might be like, hey, they didn't really give us any angles. That's okay, because for a square, it's always going to be the same. What is a corner worth? 90. If you split it in half, it's 45. Literally, all of these are 45. I'm going to stop writing it. They're 45 the whole way around. And then the ones in the middle are 90. All right, so let's see which ones they asked for. WRZ, so just connect them. W, and then to the middle is R, and then Z. So the ones in the middle are 90. And then XYZ, so let me highlight it. From X to Y to Z, well, that's the entire corner, which is also 90. It's a right angle. And then ZWY, so from Z to Y is going to be, of course, it froze right there. But that last one was 45. It was just half of the 90. Get this to work again. All right. CDEF is a parallelogram. We want to find the measure of FCD. So we're going to have to find X and then take it and plug it back in. So since I know that these sides are parallel, I mean, it's called a parallelogram. If I add these together, they will equal what? If you had to give a guess, what do we add most things to equal in geometry? Just these two. 180. We're going to add them to equal 180. You can think of it as same side. You see how on the same side? Same side means supplementary, which means 180. So I'm going to take that and put it in my calculator. I'm going to put all of that first stuff in the first little box. I'm going to put y equals 180 in the second one. Click on the intersection. Just give it a second because this computer's slow. All right, let's see here. All right, what is it? 10x minus 23 plus 5x minus 7, and then y equals 180. I have to zoom out until I get all the way up to 180. It would be great if my cursor didn't keep on like disappearing on me. Here we go. All right, so I got 14. Now that's not the answer though. That's what x is. We found that x is 14. But it asked us for FCD. So if I highlight FCD is this one, so how could I get the final answer? What would I need to do to get the actual answer? X is 14, so I'm going to do 10 times 14, and then minus 23. I'm not going to share my screen again for that. It takes too long. I'm just going to type that in and tell you guys what it is. It's 117. I believe you could put that in the calculator. All right, here we have a rectangle. We're going to have to fill it in ourselves. All right, JL, that's the whole way across, is 2x plus 5. So that whole distance is 2x plus 5. And then MK is this whole distance. I'm not really going to be able to fit that in there, but that's 7x minus 40. But if one of them is JL and the other one is MK, what do you know about them? They're congruent. They're the same. All right. So we're going to set them equal. 2x plus 5 equals 7x minus 40. So I don't have to share my screen again because the computer's slow and it takes forever. You would put this in the first box of your calculator. You would put this in the second box of your calculator. You would click on the intersection. You're going to get x equals 9. I'm just going to be your calculator there. All right. Now, are we done? Is the answer 9 or did they ask for something else? They asked for something else. They want MK, which is this one. So you're going to take 9 and plug it back in. So 7 times 9 minus 40. 7 times 9 is 63. So 63 minus 40 is 23. Again, you could just put it in the calculator. I just don't feel like doing the button pushing for that again. All right, rhombus. We have 4x minus 27 is this little angle. 2x plus 7 is this little angle. Well, I know that those are going to be congruent. For a rhombus, we split the angles in half. So again, you would put this in the first box of your calculator, this in the second box of your calculator, click the intersection. What would that be? 17. Trying to do it in my head there so I don't have to bring up the calculator again. Are we done? Does it want X or does it want something else? Yeah, PQR. So let's see. PQR is actually the whole thing. So I'm going to have to plug 17 back into one of these. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to plug it back into this one. I'm going to do 2 times 17 plus 7. You could pick either one. It's going to turn out the same each way. So that's going to be 41. That's still not the answer, though. This half of it is 41, but that means this side's also 41, and what they want is the whole thing. So if that's 41 and that's 41, what's the whole angle? Just got to add them together. 82. Good job. And then the last one's a square. Again, what is each angle of a square worth? It's 90. And if you cut it in half, each one is 45. So we're going to set our 7x plus 3 equal to 45. So you would put this in the first box of your calculator. You would put y equals 45 in the second box of your calculator. and that is going to give you 6. Are we done, or did they ask for something else? You always want to check, like, are you finished? Solve for x, we found x, so we're done. That's all you have to do for that one. So just make sure you read the directions, because sometimes you have to take x and plug it back in.